you're talking about, that's just my thing, that's just what I'm into, as far as height and stuff like that.
Just physically, yeah.
Like, I have no idea.
Oh.
Right?
Well, that's fun for you in the world. Like, you got some learning to do.
It's like I was married to the same person for 27 years. That was my whole life. And so I wasn't the kind of person who ever had like a wandering eye or anything like that, or ever looked at anybody else ever. And I really, I never really had that. And I don't know if this is because I was, I dealt with sexual, molestation when I was a child. So there's a part of me that is still fearful of men because they're like the predator response that still kicks in sometimes. So I think because of that experience, I just never really turned on that kind of, mechanism. It's like, oh, he's cute, or he's, somebody would say to me, who's your Hollywood crush? And I'd be like, no idea. Like I was never really wired like that. And I didn't really have, girlfriend time at college where you would, because I didn't do that. I was married so young, right? So where you have all those experiences or those discussions, or you say, yeah, I'm really into him or I'm not into him. Like that's just a part of my of life that I've never gone down and never really explored. So, as my girlfriends were asking, I was like, well, what do you like as far as look? I'm like, I have no idea. And I'm more attracted, I think I'm starting to understand this now, to the person. Like to me, the shell, if you will, or the packaging is, important, I guess, to a certain degree, but it's more the person, like the connection, sense of, like things I'm very clear on, sense of humor, intelligence, that we can have a, intelligent conversation about things happening in the world, exchange ideas, somebody who's community minded and helping others, it would be a big thing. So I'm really clear on the personality traits. That's very easy for me. But as far as look and stuff like that, it's not something that I ever really have really let myself really explore yet.
Because I guess it's more like lust driven.
Yeah.
Which for me has pretty much been like my only reason to date. Because once again, I don't want marriage or children. Right, so my only reason for that is to just like get it going. I don't know what to say.
Exactly. How do you say this?
How do I say
that where YouTube doesn't take it down?
Yeah, exactly. Just like get that. Like I do enjoy the company of a man, like their energy. You know what I mean? It's like it can be absolutely like lovely. But yeah, that's where I come from, right? So either way, like even though and I agree, because it's like I have what I like physically, but I can be attracted to someone who I'm not normally physically attracted to because there's something about their personality that's amazing. And overall, I'd be more attracted to that person than someone who fit the bill physically of what I like. But that's only something that you see when you're in person, right? And experience when in person. And it's the way that the world is now, it's just so much easier for people because you have to put yourself out there. You have to push through the fear of approaching someone in person. Yeah. Which has always been difficult for everybody, no matter what generation it was in. It's just now they have the excuse of not even trying, right? Because they're like, everyone's on here anyway. Like, let's just swipe away. And it is so boring. It is so, to do that, that was the worst part, is you literally just be swiping left on everybody because it almost become like a game in your head. Right. And you weren't even paying attention. I would be just like doing this and I'm like, what am I even doing on here? Yeah. I'm not even paying attention. Yeah. So I don't know, when I'm currently in the midst of like trying to find better ways to meet people more organically, because I'm currently, and I know that we view like the way that the world, universe, energy all works. I know we're like similar in that. So I do believe like if it's meant to be, it'll come if I really want it. Yeah. But there also is to say you have to like put yourself out there. So I just am enjoying like doing the things that I like to do. And that's the best. I've met so many new friends that way. So it's like clearly there's something to say for that, for like meeting a potential suitor.
So you can go on a promenade.
Maybe you should join one of those 1800s like Renaissance, like where you reenact stuff. Maybe that's where you'll find your man.
I could do it but as soon as we had to wear the corsets, I'd be like done. I'd pass out on the ground probably. But that point is really important. When you are in alignment with what you're looking for, like what your why is. So your why is a little bit different than probably most women your age, or a larger percentage now. However, more and more young women now don't want children. Like that is much more common than like when I was in my 20s, for example. What your motivation is, partnership and, you know, physical contact and connection and all this kind of stuff. So that's also, for me, it's like, what's my why? Why am I thinking of dating? Or, you know, why would I date? Because honest to God, like I love my life. I love my life. I love my life. I love my work. I'm a workaholic, you know, and there's probably 1 or 2 moments in a month where I'm like curling up on the couch on a Friday night watching a movie, and I have that thought that's like, oh, it'd be really nice to have somebody to share this with.
Totally.
Right? But I would want to share the moment and then be like, bye-bye.
I know. It's like, that's where escorts come in handy. I'm like, I have that same time of month too.
I hadn't thought of escorts. That's like, yeah.
They do that, I'm sure. I don't know what it's like. I don't know out in the countryside what the level of quality escort you're going to get.
In Russell? Oh my God.
No, but I totally,
that would start.
Yeah, I totally get what you mean. There's like, and it's a natural thing for women. There's a time of the month when we're ovulating, when like hormones are through the roof. And so once a month, I'm like, wow. But the only difference now is like when I was like 10 years ago, I'd be like, oh, sweet, we're going out to the bars, I'll meet somebody and that'll be taken care of. Now that I'm older, I'm like, okay, so that would mean what? I'm going to go out with a man and just hook up, and 99.9% chance, 9999% chance that it's going to be absolute shit. Like the hookup is going to be terrible. Do you know what I mean? Because that's just that's the likelihood of it being that way. Because when you're just hooking up with someone like that without even knowing each other, like there's no mental attraction, there's no electricity, so it's not going to be good, you know? So, and I think that a lot of, it's really sad because I see it, like now in hindsight, I can see it still happening with like younger women where they're still doing that and they're thinking like, let's go out, let's hook up, get all these experiences, it's like what we should be doing. And it's like, no.
No, it doesn't, I can't see how, I mean, I've always had sort of a different idea, I think, of, you know, the physical connection and what that serves and the purpose of that. Like, I've always seen that, and I know I was raised in the church. I'm not in the church now, but I guess to me, there's still a sacredness about that. Not the whole only when you're married, none of that garbage. But there is a sacredness and a really powerful energy exchange that happens when you're physically intimate like that. So to me, the idea of just hooking up for the sake of hooking up, now you can get physical needs met and that all makes good sense. But I think you leave like when you exchange energy with somebody like that on that level, you leave a piece of yourself with that.
You do, and your physical, like I said, it's a 99.99% chance that you will actually have your physical needs met.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
so it's like you're leaving energy.
You have to know somebody. To know how their body works and what is meeting their physical needs. There is no way you can cover all of that there's just no in one dinner or one so you do end up feeling sort of a bit empty or discouraged,
sure.
I imagine, because that's what's driving you there in the first place.
I don't think it's good for anybody, but it's so like ingrained in our culture that it's just like it feels like something that's necessary to do. So like now it's like that's how I'm just like, well, I'm just like not going to date until I like meet somebody organically or in that capacity, because it's just, and it's like, yeah, those 1 or 2 times a month I'm just like, okay, Alex, you're fine, like
you're okay,
you can handle this, everything. Don't rush out for something you're just going to leave you like more disappointed at the end of it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's
so what are some of your ideas of where you're going to try to meet people more organically?
I think, and I know this is like super common and people talk about it a lot, but it's just like doing the things that you love to do. So for me, like I love playing volleyball. I love doing hot yoga. So I'm at like a hot yoga studio, I'm at volleyball, and it's like, you know, once again, it's like still slim to none because like I'm at volleyball, but it's mainly like couples. It's not just like a bunch of single people.
Right.
And hot yoga, there's like very few men that are at hot yoga. Do you know what I mean? But things like that. And honestly, just doing the things that I like being out at concerts and I meet so many people when I'm just like out and about in general. But I don't know. I think it's difficult too. We feel so, like it's just our like city in general. It's like the mindset of the city that we're in. is very different. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm kind of like a little bit of an outcast in that capacity.
Right.
So I think that is difficult for me too. So just the way that I see the world is a lot different than a lot of the people do here.
Right.
And that's something that's really important.
It's harder for you to find your people with the same kind of mindset.
Exactly.
Or
they're out there because I've met them.
Yeah.
So that's great. And that's like just something that's starting to happen. I think it's because I've been more open to it. And that's why I'm meeting a lot more people like that, which is great. But yeah, I think it really just takes time, and I think we want to rush it. And when it comes to like dating, if it's like, I feel like you're just gonna have to start, like
just dive in,
just do it, and
God.
It's gonna suck. Like I literally went on a date, like a few summers ago. And my business partner thought it was hilarious, so she literally recorded me, recorded the date. Yeah, so we were on site. We were like, my business partner and I were flipping condos, so we were doing demolition all day, and we were exhausted. And she was like, "You still have to go on this date. Like, you cannot break this date." So it was from an app, of course. And so we at least picked a restaurant that was like right next to my building. So we go, and at this point it's dark, and like I just like quickly showered and threw some clothes on. And I go and I sit with this man, and as we're sitting there talking, I like look up and I just see my business partner sitting at a table, and she's like writing in a notebook, but her camera is just like, her phone is propped up filming. God. And I'm like, oh, hey. And then like an hour later, I see her leave, and she showed me the clip, and it was the perfect representation of that date. Because he just talked the entire time. The man did not ask me one question about myself. Like he just talked. And like we are people, once again, they love, they're like we're magnets to people like that, right? Because we're interested in what people have to say. So when they're like, perfect, this gal will just listen to me all night, but I had a long day, and I was like, and what he was saying was not that interesting. So you literally just see me, and you can see like my mouth did not move. Like I did not say like a word. It was like fast, right? Whatever time lapse. And it was just like, I'm like shifting in like different like positions, like, and he's like, and I'm like,
I think that's part of my fear too, is getting stuck in a situation like that, you know, and not knowing how to get out of it.
It's exhausting. I actually did I'll give you my tip.
This is like
the one tip that I have, and I actually did a video on it on my TikTok.
Did you? Okay. It's tip time. Okay,
so
tips.
you have to pretend to you be the man on the date, and I'll be you.
Okay.
Okay. So in this situation, the date did not go the way you wanted it.
Right.
And you definitely don't want to be kissed.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So it's always like, I'm sure he's going to be like a gentleman probably, and try and like walk you back to your car or whatever. So let's say that's the scenario. Okay. He's like, he wants to walk you back to your car.
Okay. I've walked you to your car.
I'm you, so I'm stopping. Your car is there.
Okay.
You want to be like at least this far away from your car. So just stop. Okay?
Yeah.
And then when he's like, you're doing the whole like, oh, like that was so much fun. That was so great.
Yeah.
So like say those things.
That was so much fun.
I know. I had so much fun too. I'm going to start slowly backing up. Okay. And you're like, and he's not going to be creeping towards you, right? Because it's like,
because that's weird.
It is weird. Okay. But you're slowly. So I'm like, oh, that was so much fun. I had such a great night. I'll chat with you later. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Can I call you?
And I open the car. Yes. But at this point, you're already away.
Yes, exactly.
So you've already gotten away from the kiss, because the problem is you have to be like mentally prepared for it, okay? Because if it went a different way and you were saying your stuff.
Yeah. So what happened with tall guy? You weren't going to your car? I
wasn't thinking. I wasn't ready for it.
Okay.
That's what I mean. When you're leaving the restaurant to walk to the car, you already have to know to plan for this, because I wasn't thinking about that. I was just so happy to leave the restaurant with this man. I was like, oh my God, we're done. So then I turned to him, and he's like, oh, fun night. And then just threw one on me.
Oh God!
So you gotta slowly. Let's do this. So like you be you.
I'm me now.
Yeah. I know you wouldn't do that. I know you would never.
No, I would never.
T.A.R.A, I had such a fun night with you. Your eyes are so beautiful.
Oh,
you have the most beautiful eyes.
Yes, I had so much fun. That was great.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, have a good night.
Exactly.
Safe home.
See? Perfect.
Yes.
That was perfect. Because they will say, that's what they do. They start to look, that's when you know what's going to happen, because they're looking into your eyes.
Don't look at my eyes.
They're looking into your eyes. Because we're actually very similar. We both have blonde hair and blue eyes, and they're always looking in your eyes. Like, your eyes are so blue.
Even just talking about this makes me feel nauseous. You're not ready when.
Yeah. No, I feel nauseous replaying it.
Oh, God.
Because it is
awful.
horrifying.
Yeah.
But the good news is you are you are confident within yourself, so it makes it so much easier. Because it's like the biggest problems are when you're younger and you have like no confidence and you just allow all this shit to happen because you're too afraid to just be like no, or like I don't want to hurt their feelings. So
That's right. Being older, I think, is great for that. You know, kind of thing. So.
It's gonna be so. I think it'll be fun.
Well, can I put you on speed dial? Can you be on speed dial for me when I go on one of my first dates? Or I'll call you and be like, okay, 10 minutes in, you got to call me with a fake emergency. So if maybe I could get it, because people do that, right?
The good news is like you have 7 kids. It's so easy for you. Like 3 of my kids we're in like, I don't know, we're in the car together. Like,
I know.
So many things
I do. I have so
say.
many ways to get out.
For me, it's like my dog misses me.
It's true though, and your dog's super cute.
I'll be like, I'm sorry, my dog misses me. He's more important.
Okay.
So.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I love talking with you. I love chatting with you. I can't wait to have my own dating stories to tell you.
You're gonna have so many. The men are gonna be so happy to see you out, and they're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, someone new."
Yeah.
You're gonna get a lot of attention
Until I hit them with the 7 kids thing.
Yeah.
And then, and I'm on the road most of the time, and this is fun. This will be fun. Well, thank you so much. You're such a delight. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I love talking about this stuff. It's great. This has been another T.A.R.A. Sessions with Miss Alex. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
I know who I am.